Hello, everybody. This is Uncle Sam again, and this is the first question coming up for our FE preparation exam. And the question is saying to find the weight of a lake, an engineer stands at point C on one edge and looks straight across the point B on the opposite edge. So, what this question is actually trying to explain is you have a lake. Let's say this is the lake, but you have water flowing and you're trying to get the width of the lake, that is the distance from here to here. But the question is actually going to explain better. The engineer then walks 320 meters along the shore to point A. So the engineer is actually at point C at this edge, and the engineer is looking straight at this opposite. Let's say that is B. Then it's saying the engineer then walks 320. Let's say this is the distance where the engineer actually walked to, and let's call this A. So the engineer walked how many meters? 320 meters. If the angle CAB, if the angle CAB equals what? 61 degree. So which means this is 61 degrees. So if they tell you angle, let's say BCA, so they're actually trying to tell you the angle at C. So you just need to pick the point, the middle letter, and that is the angle they're referring to. Because this is angle CAB, so they're referring to the point A angle, which is this, which is 61 degrees. Let me remove this. And yeah, let's continue solving. For this kind of question, you can write out the SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA, right? This means what? Sine theta equals what? Opposite over hypotenuse. This means what? Cos theta equals what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. And this means what? Tan theta equals what? Opposite over adjacent. And so what do we mean by opposite and adjacent? Let's go for the same angle, the same triangle rather. When you have A, B, C, and you have, let's say, a theta here. The line, or let me say the side opposite to the theta, is actually what we call the opposite side. And the longest side of the right angle triangle is what we call the hypotenuse. And the third one, just call it adjacent. So the other side is different from the opposite, and the hypotenuse is called the adjacent. But don't forget that the theta is actually the one determining the opposite side. So once you indicate the opposite, and you indicate the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, then the third side is the adjacent side. So you solving this, because you have this as, oh, that's really big. Because you have this as 61 degrees, and you're looking for this BC, right? So what is the width of the lake, which is the BC? You have, so which equation do you think is better to go for here? And you have the AC or the CA, which is the adjacent. So because you need the opposite, you have the adjacent and you have the angle. The best one, or let me say the best equation to go for, is this TOA, right? Then you say what? Tan 61 degrees equals what? That's 1.801 equals opposite, which is what? BC. Or you call it, you can just name it W, or you call it, let's just use BC. That's opposite, right? Divided by adjacent, and the adjacent is 320 meter. Therefore, BC equals what? 320 meter times what? 1.804. And so your BC is what? From this calculation here, I have it as 577.295 meters. Yeah, so checking this option, then you can easily just know it is D that you're going to pick as your answer, because that's like the closest. If you're rounding this up, you're going to get 580 meters. Yeah, that's it for this particular question, and thank you very much.